That is the worst time to go out looking for signs of the year. You're going out in the night of whiro to look for the signs of prosperity. Okay? The lunar phase affects us all. It's moods. These are moods. And you see they change pretty much all of the time. And Whitio is telling me that that's because the moon is a female. Rises and sets and rises and sets. It's got all these different moods. You can tell in the names. Neha. So this lunar phase is called Atua Whakahaihai, which means terrifying demon. Okay, it's not a good time to be out looking for stuff. Tamatea are not the best times, nor is a period called kore kore. Nothing's happening in kore kore because it's kore. Okay, so that's when the lunar phase dives. Then it starts to rise to the most productive and prosperous time of the lunar phase. This is the last quarter. These are the nights of Tangaroa. These are called Ngā Pō Tangaroa. This is when you look for Matariki. You look for Matariki during this period. The first clear morning of these 4 days in the lunar cycle, in the lunar calendar of Pipiri, you view Matariki. So if you see it here, you view it, you party, 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 stop. When it says mutu whenua, kua mutu. You stop, otherwise you'll celebrate into whiro, and whiro will turn up to your celebration. Okay, so you don't celebrate for the whole month. You don't celebrate in kore kore because it's kore. You don't celebrate in whiro because it's whiro. You don't celebrate in Atua Whakahaihai because it's a terrifying demon. You wait until the lunar phase, it's in its most prosperous time. So even though Matariki's in the sky, you've got to wait until you align yourself with your lunar phase. Kei te mārama tēnei? Okay, because what this is showing you for the next few years, the dates that Matariki sets, because we celebrate its setting. These are the dates, the 4 dates, the 4 Tangaroa nights where you should be viewing Matariki. And this is the celebration period, which is about a week long. This is when we should be looking at Matariki. Now in the book they go to 2050, but I cut it off here because I want you to buy the book. This is a massive constellation in the night sky. This is called Te Waka Orangi. Matariki is at the prow of this canoe. So you'll see Matariki here. Here is Tautoru. The captain of this canoe is a man by the name of Tawhirimatea. This is the Pahutukawa part of Matariki. Pahutukawa leads this canoe. And Tawhirimatea, this canoe is in the night sky for 11 months of the year. So when it rises, as the sun sets, Tawhirimatea stands on his canoe and he casts his net down across the earth and he trawls the earth for the souls of all of the people that have died that day. And as the sun rises, he hauls up to the heavens the souls of all the people that are in that net, and he hangs them from the back of the canoe as like a kurakura, like feathers. You've seen those hang from the back of a canoe? In this place called Te Hao Orua, which is in the handle of the pot. And they hang there throughout the year. So if someone dies, Tawhirimatea comes, he hauls up that person's soul and hangs them there for a whole year. And that canoe gets higher and higher and higher in the sky. And then in the month of Haratua, which is around May, during the Tangaroa night, Tangaroa will set, that canoe dives into the ocean, taking our dead to the underworld, and we wait. We wait for the rising of this canoe. And when it rises on the east, over here, during the Tangaroa night, Tawhirimatea stands on his canoe, takes the souls of all of the people that have died that year, and ka ruirui nā mate hei whetū ki te rangi. And he casts them into the sky as stars. That's the moment that you become a star, that your loved ones become a star. You carry your dead on you, your close dead, for a year. We've got all these tikanga like, if someone close to us dies, we don't unveil for a year, neha. Or we might not do a whai kōrero for a year, or we might wear black for a year, and we've made that be a 12-month year because we're following a Pākehā solar calendar. Our tipuna followed this lunar phase. So they would wait until Matariki rose, and then they would sever the close bonds that they have to their dead and release them. And they would go into the sky as stars. I'm going to show you, hopefully this works. This is how it was this year. This was Haratua. You'll see that lunar phase there is Tangaroa. Here is the Tangaroa moon setting. This is looking west. And here's a few other constellations, Maori stars setting in the sky. Of course, you can't see them because the sun's up. There's the sun. Right next to the sun is Matariki, Pahutukawa. There's that canoe diving into the west, taking our dead to the underworld for a year. Now, you won't see Matariki, but you can tell by the lunar month, you can tell by the lunar phase and the position of Tautoru after the sunset that our dead have gone. And then you wait a month or so, and you look to the east. It doesn't happen as quite fast, it's a bit slower. This is the Tangaroa moon. This is how it was on the 17th of July this year. Here is Matariki here. There is this canoe. Taramainuku stands, casts our mate into the cosmos as stars, then the sun comes up. There is a particular tikanga that our ancestors invoked at the time of Matariki. It's called Whāngai Te Hautapu. This is a tikanga that's fairly much missing, and it was universal. It seems to have been practiced right across Aotearoa, especially there is a very, very good record of it here on the East Coast. Whāngai Te Hautapu. Hautapu is a particular food that is fed to a god. Before we all converted to Christianity, our tipuna used to do things like feed atua. So when you have before you start planting in your garden, you cook a kai and leave that kai on an altar, and that would be a kai whorongo. And there your kumara would grow. In the time of Matariki, they would feed Matariki with a hautapu. So they would collect kai. They'd store particular kai. So they'd get a kumara for Papatuanuku, and a bird, a kereru for tipuarangi, and an eel for waiti, and a fish for waita. And they would make this is before Tangaroa, just before the Tangaroa moon, they'd make a umu, and they'd cook that kai in the ground, and they'd leave it all in the ground cooking, and then they would wait for Matariki to rise. When Matariki rose the next morning, the tohunga would come out, and the first thing he'd do is view the signs and say, yep, good year this year for fishing, bad year for gardening. That's the signs. Then they would conduct a tikanga called a taki mō teatea. So the tohunga would karakia, and then he would stop, and all of the community would call out the names of the people that had died since the last rising of Matariki. You call out their names. This is when you sever the bonds to them. Call out their names. You say, "Hai rera, so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so," and all those dead upon you, that's when the bond gets severed, and you are free. You're free from the tapu of the mate that is on you. And then, once that had finished, they would take the top off the umu, and the steam would rise into the sky and feed Matariki. Matariki is tired from carrying our dead and bringing us bounty every year. So we'd feed Matariki to replenish it. This is called Whāngai Te Hautapu. Ko te hautapu, the sacred food, riteki te kai, prepared as food for Matariki. Tapa reireia koia tapa, severing the bonds to your dead. Tapa tukua, releasing them. Hio we hi. And then the last bit, ia haha, ihika, tu te ihi, te wana wana, and then the sun rises. Ki runga i te rangi e tui hone. That part of a haka is known as a tuku. It's actually part of a karakia that's recorded in the number of iwi. But that's what it's about. Te hautapu, rite ki te kai nā, and a very East Coast way of saying it, Matariki. Mata ariki, nā mata o te ariki.